So I've had a few issues here with this election cycle, and it's been bothering me really for a while, but it's come to a head after the Republican National Convention. And I have to call a couple of guys out that I really admire, really believe that they're true conservatives. They want what's best for this country, and they use their platform really to try to achieve that goal. And I want to start out by saying that I truly believe that. Seanhannity and Glennbeck, both of you guys, and a lot of the people that follow you guys and think the same way. So this isn't just directed at these two individuals. And I know that they'll probably never see this. And if it ever finds its way across your desktop and you're watching this, feel free to call me, get in touch with me if you'd like to explain to an average American why I'm wrong. I'd be willing and open to listening. But I'd like to start out with Seanhannity, and it's a guy I've been listening to for a long time. Really, really believe in what he has to say. I really think, again, that he tries his best to do what's best for this country. From the beginning of this election cycle, or since Donald Trump's been pretty much said he was going to run, it's been pretty obvious that Seanhannity was a Trump guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with supporting who you believe in and who you believe can do the best job. But my problem is I feel like he went a little bit off the rails, and it seemed like I was a little surprised by that, I won't lie, because I thought that Sean was really a very staunch constitutionalist, and I believe that there was only one true constitutionalist in this race who has also done everything he said he was going to do, fought the way he said he would fight, and never let party lines or anything like that stand in his way. And that was Ted Cruz, obviously. And I was a little bit surprised to see that Sean was not a Cruz supporter from the beginning. But it's okay. That's his right to choose, and that's exactly what this country's all about. But I was a little surprised at the way he went about it. And through the election cycle, through the primary season, I didn't quite see as much of it. There was a lot of I don't want to necessarily call them attacks, but a lot of negative comments toward Ted Cruz that Seanhannity put out there. And I know that he gave time to all the candidates to come onto his show and interview them and things like that. And that's great, but it was pretty obvious from the beginning that he was a Trump supporter. But my issue comes especially after the Republican National Convention. It's very hard for me to understand how a guy like Seanhannity, or a lot of people out here who are conservatives and really truly want what's best for this country, can look at him and try to destroy him by coming out negatively and talking about how his speech at the Republican National Convention was terrible, and seeing what some other people are really trying to do to really destroy this man's career. And I don't understand it. First of all, he's the one man in the race, all on both sides, who you can't find a place where he has been dishonest. You can't really find a place where he's flip-flopped. If he's changed his opinion on anything, it's always been that he said from the beginning, this is the way I feel on the surface, and after the evidence, I may change my mind. And if he did, he did. But he's always done what he said, and he has always pushed through that. And so I really find that hard to understand. We want people like that in our government. We want people like that who are anti-establishment, and he has been far from establishment. And there is no way anyone could call him establishment. And yet after his speech, where he was very passionate, very eloquent in his delivery, everything was very good about his speech, except he didn't come out and say, I'm going to endorse Donald Trump. I have a lot of respect for a guy who's willing to put his family before his political career and not come out and say, I completely endorse him. I'd like to point out something. Everyone says, well, he lied. He broke his promise. He said that he would support the nominee. You can support the nominee without endorsing them. He came out and made it very clear what he was saying. Vote your conscience. Vote for the person that's going to uphold the one that's going to uphold the Constitution the most. It's pretty obvious who that is. There's one realistic option, and that is Donald Trump. We all know that it's way better than Hillary Clinton. I'm a Cruz supporter, but I'm telling you, it was very clear and very eloquently laid out, and there was no disparaging remarks or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, Sean or anybody else, why would you put your political career before your own family? It would be different if Trump had come back and said, hey, you know what? In the heat of battle in this primary season, I said some things that I regret or that I shouldn't have said, and I wanted to apologize to the Cruz family and Heidi Cruz and so forth and so on. But he didn't do any of that. And so Ted Cruz did exactly what he should have. He stood on his principles. He did exactly what he should have and pushed for everyone to vote in November. Don't stay home. And he did that. So Sean, I really have a hard time understanding why you would attack him so much, demonize him, and be an assistant, a conspirator, or a, what do they call it? When you help someone. Anyway, you're helping tear down Ted Cruz. And I just don't understand that when he's been one of the most conservative and definitely the biggest constitutionalist that's been out there. And next, I want to address Glennbeck from the other side of this. I've been an avid Glennbeck listener for a lot of years, and I appreciate what he's done for this country and as much as he's stepped out. And in fact, I don't think anyone stands on principle as much as Glennbeck, just about. But I have an issue with this too, because he was a Cruz supporter, as I was, and I support everything that Glennbeck has done through the primary season in an attempt to lay out the truth and make it evident for everyone to see that Ted Cruz was the best choice. My problem now becomes, we should have all learned our lesson in 1992 when Ross Perot ran for president. I was too young to vote at the time. My brother, unfortunately, was not. And he wasted his vote, and he'll tell you today that he wasted his vote. I learned a good lesson without that, to understand that when there are choices, you have to make the best choice that's going to make a difference. And the thing is we all know at this point that there is no way, especially with all the record number of people coming out to vote for Trump in the primaries, we're not going to have a third-party candidate from our side that's going to positively affect this election. And so what I don't understand is how anyone can sit idly by and say they will not vote for Trump, or they will just stay home and not vote. And those are the things that have come from Glennbeck and his program. And again, like I said, I'd be happy to sit down and understand this and really explain it to me, because I stand on principle and I stand on my beliefs, and I tell my family, I tell my kids, I have raised them to understand that right and wrong is more important than blood even. And so I would like to find out how you can sit there and understand that there's only one viable candidate, that it is worse or bad or worse. And I get that. I wasn't a Trump supporter, and I don't believe he's our best candidate. But he is our best candidate that's on the ticket now. And we've got to get behind him, and we've got to support him, and we've got to get this done so that Hillary Clinton does not give us a third term of Obama. And so it's really been hard for me to sit back and watch a man with such influence push against the candidate on our ticket that's going to make the biggest difference. He's going to be the one to drive us least negatively in a downward spiral. Unfortunately, it is the lesser of two evils, and we have got to understand that. And although I think Trump will make a fine president, I don't believe deep down that he's really going to drive us into the ground. He was not my pick. But today, July 22nd, 2016, it is time to get behind this guy, and it is time to make sure that Hillary Clinton is not the next president of the United States. We do not need a third term of Obama. We do not need any more influence from the William Ayers or any of these people that have influenced Obama and Hillary Clinton throughout the years. So please, guys, anyone that's watching this, if you have anything to say, get in touch with me, commonsensesanctuary@gmail.com. Glenn, Sean, if it happens to be you guys and you want to bring an average American on and really explain to him, or call me personally. This isn't about anything other than really would like to understand the perspective of two people that are so influential, yet so on opposite ends of the subject, and yet both of them could be doing detrimental things to destroy the conservative movement in this country. So, but anyone, comment, email me, email me with anything else you'd like to hear about, and I'll be happy to post it. Guys, we've got to come together. We got to stop Hillary in 2016. We've got to get this thing done. Y'all have a good day.